Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Eurohammer with Owen, with Marcel and Owen. And it's been a couple of weeks, Marcel. It's good to see you again. I hope you can hear. I'm in my conservatory, and you can hear the rain pounding down on the roof. I wonder if the Welsh rain sounds different to German rain, but hopefully you can try and ignore that because it sounds really loud here. And I've just seen a spider. It's like Shelob has just appeared in my conservatory. So if I have to jump up quickly, you know why. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I haven't got the elven orb to shine at it, but there we go. Hey, it's good to see you, Marcel. It's been a couple of weeks since we got together. So I thought it would be nice for us to get together and just have a little chat about what we've been doing in the hobby for the last few weeks. I haven't been able to see you since then, which is great. How are things with you?
I'm fine. Doing some hobby stuff, not as much as I planned, but nothing bad happened. But so it's all good. And yeah, seeing the title of your presentation, we are now both out of the European Championship, Wales and Germany. So, no bad feelings. And my guess is Italy. What's your guess?
I'd say Italy as well, but well, let's see what happens, isn't it? I mean, perhaps when we meet together, the fates will be known. But yeah, it was sad. I've enjoyed the championships; they've been good though. But lots of good football. I think Germany were a bit, which is unusual for Germany. They were very hot or cold, whether they were very good or very bad. But there we are.
It's always the same with the German team. If they are handled as a good team, then they are just really bad. And if you don't expect much of them, then they skyrocket. So
they do well. I mean, they got a number of World Cup wins, haven't they? And Euro wins. So I'm sure they'll be back pretty quick. But,
just bad die rolls of the table.
yes. The football gods turned against them a bit. There we go. Anyway, a few things to talk about, Marcel. I know upcoming there's the second edition of the Eurohammer magazine, and I know you've got quite a lot of involvement with that. Well, what are you doing for this issue?
I wrote a small short story, and because as you can see from the cover, it's got something to do with Skaven. So also the short story will be about the Skaven. And then I helped out some stuff, wrote some only text pieces, nothing special. But the other part I really enjoyed doing was kind of a teaser for my upcoming 40K project. And so I explained my plans, how I will try to tackle that project, another project, hooray. And because I want to build up and paint and explain and write background in a series of small articles. So it's more fluff or background related than point-wise just an army list. So let's see.
Yeah, well, have you done Skaven before? I don't think I've seen you with the Skaven army. Have you painted any before? Or?
I painted Skaven, and you will see them. I painted them mostly for Advanced Hero Quest. So I collected during the years some stuff for maybe a small Skaven army, like the Bell and the Doom Wheel. So very iconic units. And I really love Skaven. The only problem is you need a lot of them.
yes.
So yeah, but good. From the fluff, I really enjoyed Skaven. They are just hilarious.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. And this piece you've written then, this short story, can you tell us a little bit what to expect or what's it about? I don't want to spoil anyone, but let's say if you are familiar with the Gotrek and Felix novels, then there's a little surprise. Okay. Oh, good. Yeah. Oh, excellent. Well, I look forward to that then.
And to be fair, the team discussed a lot about the first issue, how we will do the second one, because the first one was just like try and error. and we were thinking about, oh man, the first issue was really big with over 90 pages. Maybe we reduce it a bit. And yeah, to be fair, the second one will not be smaller. So, but let's see. It's a lot of fun, and we are not under any kind of pressure because it's still a hobby.
Yeah.
And I must say, some people are putting a lot of work in, or love and work into that, and time. So for me, it's just writing down some stuff, and here you go, do with it what you want.
Yeah.
And I wrote a lot of stuff because sometimes it just happened. You have all the ideas in your head.
Yeah.
It flows just out of you. And so some of the articles are then reserved for the third issue even. So,
oh, good.
Yeah.
No, it's been great, hasn't it? And it was so well received. I know a lot of people put a lot of work in it. Joshua, yourself, Angel, a lot of people involved. And I get all the best because it's something the hobby community has really embraced. And I'm looking forward to it. It'll be nice to see it.
I mean, just look at the cover. Angel painted it. Fantastic. And I saw all the steps before that as he started with the sketch and everything, and I must say, wow. Wow. Speechless. It's so great. You can see there's a storm rat, the grays here, the assassin, the plague monk, even the red ogre in the background. Everything iconic for Skaven is there. So just great.
Such a talented guy. You know, that's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
And without him, no fanzine.
No,
totally.
No. And from myself, I mean, I've played a couple of games, which I'll talk about. And I want to show you an army that I played up against last week, which is my good friend Justin Plimmers' Dogs of War. Now, I know Dogs of War are quite rare these days. Cry havoc and let slip the Dogs of War. But they were a great army to play against. And I'll talk a little bit about that now and show you some pictures of his army, which hopefully you'll enjoy. And some things that I'm adding to my armies as well. So without further ado, let's move on. Okay, I was really lucky this week, Marcel. I go to Swansea War Games Club, and I've been a member there since 1984. So long, long time. As a small child, I can remember walking through the door and being filled with wonder at seeing all the things that I saw there. And following 18 months of being shut, the club opened its doors last week for the first time, and I was really lucky to go along with my brand new or old Lizardman army, if you like, and I got to fight the battle against Justin and his Dogs of War, and it was lovely. Although we all had to wear masks, we were all socially distanced. There was hand sanitizer, which is always a challenge in the war games environment, as you know. But it was very different. But it was so good to be back playing games on the table with friends, and we played a terrific game of Warhammer 6th Edition, a pitched battle, and I used my Lizardmen for the first time, and I'm glad I didn't film it because it was a textbook display of how not to use Lizardmen. It was great, you know. And I know a lot of people complained about how hard the Lizardmen were, but they were terrible. They were terrible. The artillery dice, I think it only had misfire on it. I misfired every turn. And some of the things I did were just appalling. And I ended up losing that game quite badly. But at one point, I thought, when we last spoke, I played a game of Age of Sigmar, if you remember, and I'd only inflicted 2 casualties on my opponent. And I thought this was going to be the same, but it turned out a bit better than that, but it was still a defeat. I'm in a run of defeats, Marcel. I don't know what to do. I couldn't beat an egg at the moment, but that was it. But we're getting there. And then talking about runs of defeats, I played another game of Rangers of Shadowdeep, and it was the 7th game for my heroes. and it was the last stand scenario. And I did film this, and I put it on this channel. If anyone wants to watch it, so I won't say too much, but I really enjoyed another disastrous outing for my my heroes, and Fortek the wizard, and Garesh the warrior, and Melter the hound fought against a horde of orcs and other creatures. And well, I let the viewers see exactly what happened. But
maybe next time switch and you play as the shadow.
Yeah, I think I will. And I might win. I was talking to someone in the week, and he said, your tactics are awful though, Owen. And the problem I've got is when I'm filming it, I just want to make it entertaining. So I don't think about tactics, really, you know. So.
It's entertaining, but very tragic.
Yeah. I'm all about the story. But anyway, I'm really enjoying Rangers of Shadowdeep. And I picked up some more figures in the comic shop in Swansea, which is where I go to get as much stuff as I can. And I'll be painting those up ready for some new Rangers of Shadowdeep adventures soon as well. So I've got some lovely new soldier figures, excuse me, which will be, I'll show you next time we meet. And then talking about nice figures and nicely painted armies, I just want to talk to you a little bit about Justin's Dogs of War. I'm sure he won't mind. I asked him if he'd like to come and speak to us about it, but he's quite shy sometimes. But I was really, really impressed with it, with his army. He had a number of unit regiments of renown. He had the Long John's Slayer Pirates. You can see them at the bottom there. You had the Cursed Company, the Undead regiment. He had I can't remember their name, but a regiment of dark elf-like scouts. He had the Halfling Lumping Croup, was it? And his halflings, a unit of Empire Knights, and some crossbowmen, and a lovely cannon. And as you can see, he's used some really interesting color schemes. I mean, look at that unit of Slayers at the bottom there, Marcel. What do you think of those? They're nice, aren't they?
Great. Just great.
I mean, look at the colors he's used on the flesh tones and things like that. Really different. And the halflings as well, like a purple tone on the skin. I was really impressed. And it's not an army you see often, is it? It's not an army you see people using very often. Have you ever done them?
I really like how we did the bases.
Yeah.
It's not the classic Goblin Green, but
No.
I mean, it's about personal taste. Totally. So it really fits the theme of the army, because he did, all of them in the same way. And very interesting about the movement trace. Is that just metal?
Yeah. I hadn't noticed them until you mentioned it. Actually, I didn't notice it last week. Justin is he's a very busy gamer. You know, he does a lot of painting. And I know he buys a lot of like different things. He trawls the internet looking for new things, and I'm sure those bases must have come from somewhere. But yeah, they're interesting, aren't they? I hadn't noticed them. But he spends a lot of time and is a very passionate painter who has probably painted more figures than anybody really over the years. And,
I mean, the good thing I would say about the base, if you magnetize your miniatures and the base movement trays are out of metal, then they will move around. So for storage and transportation, really good. And I mean, the rim is very small, not like as I've seen on your army, like the MDF ones. They are sometimes really chunky and big. It's a good solution, but nice to see a different approach.
And I think they were magnetic, and I think that was his excuse for not taking off many figures, because they were stuck to the base. I'll stick to that, but yeah, they were, and but it was just, it must, apart from my I played a game with Joshua online of Warhammer 5th. It must have been my first game of Warhammer for about 10 years live, you know, actually playing it. And it was really, really nice to get back to that gaming it, you know. And although it's going to take me a bit of time to get back into it, really, I think I totally forgot what to do all the way through it, but yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good fun.
Yeah, cool.
It was really good fun. And yeah, that army was just an absolute pleasure. And I'm sure if anyone's got any questions about it, I can pass those on to Justin, because he'll be quick to answer any of them, really.
I really like the tower. Is it self-made or bought?
No, it's a bought tower. That's part of the club's terrain, that is. But
Okay.
I'll tell you what's interesting. If you look at you see the longhouses, the Saxon longhouses. Well, they are actually mine, and I must have lost those about 15 years ago. And I turned up last week, and there they were in the club. So somebody had written Colin underneath them. So Colin, whoever you are, you're a thief. That's it. Yeah. So it was it was good to see those again. So I'll be bringing those back home, I think. But they've obviously been lost with different terrain over the years.
Okay.
But yeah, they were good. They were good. So great. Moving on. Okay, and now yourself, Marcel. You've been sending me loads of pictures of nice World War II battleships. Do you want to tell us about what's been going on there?
Yeah, so that's my excuse of not doing any Warhammer related stuff lately. After painting all these over 50 goblins, I needed a break.
I don't think anyone blames you there.
Thanks. And so I started to continue one of my projects I started, of course, years ago. And that is here World War II ships, Royal Navy and German Kriegsmarine in 1 to 3,000. So this size. Not that detailed, but detailed enough. And I would say the price is also okay. Yeah, and
what company are they?
Different ones. I've got one. Most of them are from DEFCO. These were formerly owned by Skytrax. That is a known company, and now sold by a company called Navy Models and Books. So we got different ranges of ships and periods, so Napoleonic ones and so on and so on, and also these ones. And some are from Naval. And this guy makes a lot of ships. So if you need some, I don't know, this merchant cruiser from this, he got it. The only problem is he has a page with the catalog section, but you can only order by telephone, fax, or mail letter and paying by check. Okay. So ordering there is like 1980s. Yeah. And I did it once because I wasn't sure will it get my order. I sent a letter with my order and the check. And after a week, I got all the stuff I wanted. Wow. So it worked.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of complaining in the internet about the guy. Wow, why don't you use PayPal and go with the modern stuff and blah, blah, blah. But I mean, if you don't want it and it works. So, and if you want his ships, because he got a really nice selection of ships. So yeah, but quite an experience doing it.
I bet.
Like 20 years ago.
Yeah. Is he actually operated his company out of the period as well, sort of a 1940s company as well?
Yeah, I even checked via Google Mail or Google Street View, and you can see his little shop somewhere in England. Forget the town.
Candle in the window.
Yeah, no, but I mean, mostly these companies are run by 1 or 2 people. So, yeah.
Are they expensive? What sort of prices are they?
It depends. Let's say most like destroyers, you get 3 in one package for, let's say, £3.
Wow,
and the battleships, because they are a little bit heavier, can be £4 and so on. But most of to get into that, I bought 2 fleet packs with a discount. And so I ended up with most of the German fleet for the beginning of the war for, let's say, £25 or so.
Oh, right. Yeah, good then, isn't it?
So you don't need a lot of ships. And for the game, I could easily proxy stuff like, okay, it's the same class with a different name, so I can just put another sticker on it. But no, I do it right. I bought every ship with a list. So they got all the same, the right name stickers on it. And must say I'm really proud of doing the bases. So they are with acrylic soft gel, the little waves with the brush, and then dry brushing, and it really looks cool for my taste. Yeah,
it looks really good, Marcel. What I like as well is, for myself, if I was doing these, I would immediately just do like a blue base, like the matte there. But that grey with the white wave on it effect is really nice. And a little bit different as well. I like that a lot. That's what jumped out at me when you first showed them to me. They're really nice. And so what are your plans with this? Are you going to reenact any particular battles or any campaigns?
Yeah, I use the Naval Thunder rules I talked about in our last chat, and they got a little campaign called the Atlantic campaign. It goes from the start of the war to the end of the Norway operations. And it's very narrative, and I really, really like that approach. So with every combat, you think, oh, don't blow up my battleship. It's the only one I got, and something like that. Because, of course, the British got so many ships. So it's really frustrating for the German player to lose ships. And so I will try to paint all the ships I'm now still missing, and then to replay this campaign. And as you can see, there's also a game here, Atlantic Chase from GMT Games, that makes a lot of beautiful war games. And I have to confess, I got a lot of them because if you're interested in the period, they made just the right game. So for you, because you are into Arthurian and Dark Ages, they got just the game for you. It's called Pendragon. About the Romans leaving Britain and the Britons fight for themselves now. Quite a complex game, but the book section in the back is just marvelous. How many historical books they use to make such a game. And here, Atlantic Chase is also a game about the early or mid-war period of the Second World War. And I watched a lot of YouTube videos how this game works, because it uses a completely different approach to fight these battles on the Atlantic. So you have no hex. You have a hex map board, but not counters with your ships. So the Bismarck is not meeting the hood, and then you have to roll some dice. No, you have trajectories with little wooden blocks. So you are laying courses, and then you have to roll dice to find. So even as an example, like a German player, you don't know exactly where your fleet is. It's somewhere there. And the designer explained it. It's like the strings and needles they used in the war room back in the days. So he tried to simulate all this, and I really, really like this approach. And to think about it, I mean, it's now like 50 years or so, like the first modern war games arrived from back Avalon Hill games and stuff like that. And there are still people who come up with new ideas. Because there are a lot of games about the Atlantic War or the war in the Atlantic, but I have never seen anything like it. And I bought it because I always like board games about the period I'm interested in. You can play it solo. That's also nice, because finding the right people to play it is sometimes really difficult. And my thought was, maybe I can use that as a campaign system to fight the miniature battles. So let's see.
So forgive me. I mean, when you look at World War II, a lot of people could tell you a lot about the land wars that went on. But what exactly was going on in this period with the Atlantic Chase? Was it to do with the intercepting the convoys, or is it around that? Or
so you got for this Atlantic Chase, you got some scenarios, and they start very, very basic to like tutorials, and there's also complete campaign game. So, And as a German player, you have to preserve your big battleships,
right,
and hunt down the convoys. So most of the time, you first have to get through the Denmark Strait, and over Iceland to avoid all the British air bases and everything. So that's the first difficulty, and then to try down to hunt these convoys to find them, and if you find them, to do a lot of damage before, of course, the Royal Navy arrives, because they got so many ships they can just hammer you to pieces. So it's also not an asymmetrical approach. It's not a fair battle. So you got points for sinking convoys, and the other one just have to sink the German ships, kind of. So let's see how that works on. I will collect it tomorrow from the post office, and then I can dig into the rules. And to be fair, it's also interesting to see how the presentation and the design of rules, not also in war games, but also in miniature war games, have evolved over the years. So I still got games here from the 1980s from Avalon Hill game, black and white, like a typewriter, in very small writings, and then in 3 columns on 1 page. It's horrible. It's really horrible.
I know.
And now you got examples, a lot of pictures. Most of the time, the books are in full color. And this guy that designed here, Jeremy White, designed Atlantic Chase. I got another game from him. It's called Skies Above the Reich. So about the air fight, German fighters fighting Allied bomber formations. And he designs the rules or the games, but also all the graphics. He do them. He do it all by himself. And so the way he does the presentation of the rules is very unique. So sometimes you can just play a game by the rules. It's not like, oh, I have to read the first 10 pages and then I can play a game. No, just follow the setup and then And to be fair, for me at least, most of the time, I learn the rules by playing them.
And me too.
It sticks better into my head. So, okay, I have to roll on table, blah, blah, blah. And then, sometimes I make mistakes on the way, of course, and then I have to go back and redo it. But for me, it's the best way. And I hope with Atlantic Chase, that I can tackle the kind of complex rules, but you can really dig into, and also to be the commander of your fleet in your war room is also kind of a role-playing approach for me. And I really like this narrative stuff there.
That's why you wear those headphones, isn't it? It's like you're in fire, but that's good. Like with the periscope. No, that's good. Hey, and I look forward to hearing how you got on and how it played. And if you play some solo games, perhaps you'll be luckier than me and actually win some. It'll be interesting to see.
And because now I'm at the moment I was not in the mood of painting today. And so I'm at the moment, or before our chat, I was playing a solo game from a different company, and it's about you play the captain of a German U-boat in the Atlantic. And you got only tables and a chart with your U-boat where you can track down the damage and everything. And it's so narrative in this approach. There's also an old Avalon Hill classic called B-17, Queen of the Skies, where you play the crew of an Allied bomber. And it's very similar to that, not from the rules, but from the narrative. So every time you roll a chart, I found a convoy. Then you roll, 2 large merchantmen and a tanker. Excellent. And then how many torpedoes I get? All of the tanker. And then you have another chart, because in the early war, most of the torpedoes can be Dutch. So that can be very frustrating. And then you have to roll if the escorts find you. Oh, and it's very dramatic and narrative if they find you and bomb you with the water bombs, and then you can go deeper and deeper and deeper, and then you can risk hull damage on your boat to go even deeper. So, and then there's also kind of skill or campaign mode. You can upgrade your U-boat, your crews can get better and stuff like that, and you can earn medals. So it's like a computer game, but as a board game.
Yeah, so. and that's nice, and yeah, I look forward to hearing how that goes. I think that'll be good. But
at the moment, I'm quite well. Sadly, the only mission I roll is British Islands. So the risk of getting detected by the British planes is very high.
I bet, yeah.
But yeah.
But no, congratulations on the ships. They look great as well. They look really nice. So one day, perhaps we could get together and have a game of this.
Oh yeah. And if you're interested, I'm planning to do also the games remotely, so we can have a small engagement like here, the classic one, the Grafspiel, getting Hunt down. So there are only, I think, 4 ships involved, 1 German and 3 British. And I'm still waiting for my gaming table, because of course you need a lot of board, playing area, gaming area, and I think it's quite doable remotely. So Excellent. Then we can play a game.
Oh, good! I look forward to that. That'd be good. Good stuff. Well, there we are, Marcel. I think that's going to be it for us today. I mean, it's been a while, and hey, it's lovely to speak to you again. And I hope the next couple of weeks go well. You stay safe, and that you get all your painting done, which will be good. And plus, we can move on and look at something else as well next time. But hey,
of course.
Thank you very much, diolch yn fawr, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah, hope so.
Bye bye.
Bye, Owen.